Hey everybody, it's Eric J over at Moms in Foxborough, and today I want to do a little bit of a comparison video of two very similar bikes, but two very different bikes all at the same time. We've got the DesertX over here, and then we have the Tenere 700. Ultimately, both of these bikes are fantastic machines for riding on the road or riding off the road, and I want to just cover why both of them are great and which one might tailor to your riding style better. So over here, we have the DesertX, which this is the base model machine that we offer. There are 3 trim levels in the DesertX. You have the base DesertX, and then you have the Discovery, and then you have the Rally, which is their flagship adventure bike that they're offering right now. On this bike here, we actually did a graphics kit, so this does not come from the factory looking like this. We made it to look like this, and I personally think it came out phenomenally great. Both of these bikes are going to come with a 21-inch spoked front tire, and you're going to get the Pirelli Scorpions on either machine. And honestly, as far as tire goes, what you're getting from the factory, probably one of the better knobby tires that are going to get a decent amount of mileage out of them. You're going to get a lot of nice feel off-road and on-road, and you'll always have traction for pretty much any kind of weather situation. You get a really nice front end as far as your lighting goes, and then also if you look at it, it does have quite a retro style to it. The whole idea behind this bike was actually to reimagine the Cagiva Elephant from the 90s that won the Dakar back then, and they honestly hit the nail on the head with that retro styling, but still with it being just like an insanely capable machine. Braking on the DesertX, you're going to get some Brembo stylemas, and you're going to notice between both machines that this is definitely going to have a much bigger braking setup, and that's going to come down to weight and power. So this is actually a sub 500-pound adventure bike that makes 110 horsepower. Probably top leading in its class as far as everything goes between fit and finish, performance, and everything else. Suspension, you name it, Ducati is throwing the best of the best at it. Out back, as far as accessories and things of that go, on this machine, you can do a full touring pack on the back with side panniers and a top case, or personally for me, they do offer a extended fuel tank that you can put in the back here, which gives you an additional 30% range. So you could really turn this thing into a go anywhere adventure tourer. If you don't need storage for things and you just want to get out and ride, that's the route that I would take. They do also offer the factory race exhaust, or you can just do a slip-on. Either way, it makes the bike, sound incredible, and then it just really opens it up for that power. And then you'll gain about a 5% power increase on the DesertX over the original 110 horsepower. Now, talking about the Yamaha, I like to refer to this bike as a no-frills adventure bike that'll never leave you stranded. It's going to come down to a lot less technology on this machine. Some people really like that because they'll always say less things to break. Sometimes I'll agree, sometimes I'll disagree. But on this bike, it really is just a giant dirt bike for the street. In its stock configuration, it pretty much just does everything so good. It really is just a blast to ride. Power on this one is going to be at 72 horsepower, and you're still going to get Brembo brakes up front. However, they are going to be a little bit smaller because this bike is 452 pounds, whereas that one is 492 pounds. So there is a weight discrepancy between the two of them. So this one doesn't need to put out as much power and doesn't weigh as much, so it doesn't need as much braking up front. On either one, you are going to get a really nice TFT display, and then fuel capacity is going to be right around the same as well in that 4.5, 5 gallons marker. Outside of all of that, this bike, it doesn't have any ride modes outside of being able to shut off ABS either front or rear or all together, and then that's pretty much it. The only thing accessories wise that I would encourage from the factory, do the quick shifter on this one because it just makes your life a breeze for riding around in traffic and things of that nature, and quick shifters are just so much fun. And then you can do the storage on here as well, and then they also do offer a selection of seats as well. You can either go with a lowered seat or you can go with a rally seat, so you'll actually have a lot more padding for taking it off-road. As far as riding modes go on the DesertX, this has quite the host of options that you can run away with. So traditionally, you'll probably ride the bike in either, sport mode or touring. However, there's a lot more that you can do. You've got urban, which if you're going to be just riding around in the city, honestly, that's the way to go. If there's one thing Ducati always gets right, it's their riding modes for their bikes. Urban will reduce the power, increase some traction control and things of that nature, but it makes the bike just a little bit more manageable for riding in the city. If you're going to get caught in the rain, this has a wet mode as well, which is pretty self-explanatory. Low power, high traction control, high ABS, things of that nature. But then you also get rally, you get enduro, and then like I mentioned before, touring. And then with rally and enduro, you get to remove ABS from the rear. You can back this into corners. You can really turn this thing into like an off-road machine that can just tackle pretty much anything you throw at it in a stock configuration. They're just such fun bikes to rip around on, whether you're on the street or you're, off-road. With service intervals on both of these bikes, it's actually rather lengthy. Outside of doing your annual service, whether that's at the beginning of the season or at the end of the season where you want to do a fresh oil change or anything like that, your Desmo service on a DesertX is every 18,000 miles. And then on a Tenere, if you choose to, I do believe that your valve services are 24,000 miles. But it's a Yamaha, and it'll just always keep on going right into the apocalypse. One thing that you'll notice, though, is pricing between the two of these bikes is going to be dramatically different. You're looking at an 18.5 bike before taxes and fees on this, and then on the Tenere, you're looking at 10.8. So there is quite a difference in price, but what you get out of either of them, you really do get what you pay for. Either one, tremendously reliable. Either one, best bang for your buck, honestly, in the adventure category for what we carry here at the Foxborough location. Both of these bikes are typically available to be demoed. As long as the weather's good and you've got right riding attire, you can come on down, make an appointment, and check these out for yourself and see which one you would like. So that's pretty much everything on the bikes. Feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions on the machine, or if you want to come on down and have a more extensive walk around on the bike, feel free to reach out to us, call in, text, we do everything, and then we'll see you next time.